This one, we actually started to fall for probably a decade or so ago. I had traveled overseas and I worked as a contractor. And when you're working out of the country, you're considered an expatriate or an expat. And
Mm-hmm.
when you work as an expat, you work alongside other expats. And these other expats they consider themselves tax experts and legal advice providers. And they tell you things like, oh, well, you're an expat. You can work for tax free because you're working out of the country. What they don't tell you is check with your state law, your state tax code, check with the federal regs on how much tax exemption you're allowed to claim, because then what ends up happening
Mm,
is you end up owing a lot of taxes when you come back and
uh,
realize, oh no, I maintained a property in a state that doesn't care if you're an expat. If you maintain a residence in that state, you pay state taxes regardless of where you worked and whatever. And so we had some actual tax trouble, and we were working through it, and we got a call. So this is the false government threats scam. And so you'll get a call from somebody who's, I'm with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or I'm with the IRS. I'm IRS
mm,
agent 138, blah, blah, whatever. You'll get phone calls, emails. Most of the time it's a phone call, and they're telling you they're
okay.
with the IRS and that immediately the sheriff is going to be there, and they're demanding immediate payment to satisfy this account. And so we were in the middle. We were behind. We had a big tax bill, and this call comes in. I don't think they knew that. I just think it was a timing thing. And so
Mm,
as I'm listening to this person talk, I was like, no, we talked to such and such on this date, and we told them about this, and we started setting up the payment. So the thing about the IRS, and a lot of people don't know this, is if you are even making a $1 a month payment to the IRS, you're working out your tax bill, and they can't do anything about that. Now, if you say flat out, I'm not paying you nothing, I don't owe you anything. Oh, good luck with that method. The IRS, as long as you're working with them and you're paying something, and we had a fantastic
yeah.
IRS agent who told us, he's one of the people on the other end of the line, the legit ones. He was like, listen, just so you know, you send us $1 a month because you're working towards paying your bill. Even if it's a
Right.
dollar a month, we're gonna work with you. And he's like, we
Because they
understand.
want the money.
They want, yeah, they don't, yeah, but they want your willingness to work with them. If you start stomping your
Yeah.
foot and saying I'm not paying any taxes, that's a
Mm,
bad position to take, because they will get their money.
yeah.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of will. But the scammers then prey on this kind of the power that the IRS has created in America. And so they will claim, okay, you can immediately satisfy this debt. What I need you to do is go to Target and get a Target gift card and give me the gift card numbers or whatever. Yeah, I'm like, what? So yeah, as soon as this kind of started happening, I was like, hold on a second. Let me talk to your supervisor. Oh, my supervisor, you can't talk to you. And I'm like, oh, no. Okay, goodbye. I was probably on the phone with him for about 15 minutes before my red flag started to go up. Like, wait a minute, this person doesn't know anything about my case. This person is a scammer. And sure enough, the attempts and the whatever started to reveal itself. And so basically, the government agencies are going to initially reach out to you through official letters. They're going to send you letters to your house, and you'll see them if you've
Right.
ever gotten the IRS letter. It's official. It shows it's the IRS documentation. It has official phone numbers to contact. It has your personal information that only the IRS is going to have. And that's typically how they start their conversations. They're not going to call you at your home first. They're not going to send you a text. They're not going to reach out to you through social
Yes.
media. They're not going to do any of that.
Right.
They're going to send you an official notice that, hey, we're auditing you. We're looking into your, taxes for X and X year. You owe, blah, 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 based on your filing. We need to set up a payment plan. It's going to be official documentation. Then if you ignore it, if you throw it away, if you just misplace it and haven't called them back, then you'll get another letter and another letter. And then the phone calls may come. But you will have some indication that corresponds to the actual official correspondence of the IRS or some other government agency that is trying to reach out to you. It may actually even be a visit in an official vehicle with official credentials, badged, identified,
Mm-hmm.
people now standing saying, hey, you're kind of ignoring this. And they actually may reach out to you with subpoenas or some official form
Right.
of communication that, because they're required by law to do that, and to follow the justice system to do that, especially if there's some kind of crime or evasions of taxes or whatever, something to do with
Right.
the government is going to follow the official channels typically, all the time. They're not going to reach out to you over a text message or your social media account or whatever.
Right.
And they're not asking for some weird version of payment, Target gift cards, other store gift cards,
Yep.
Bitcoin, things like that. It's going to be through, a some.gov website where you'll make the back payments, or, .ohio, .kentucky, .california, whatever. It will be the official state website. So that's really the only
Got
way you
it.
should communicate with them. And if you do know you have some kind of, tax issues or legal issues or something that has brought the government now into your life, you should have a lawyer, you should have legal representation, and they should be handling this stuff for you. If you can't afford it, I think there's plenty of attorneys out there that do kind of pro bono work like this, and just look, again, now you have to go do a Google search and you find scammer lawyers. So
Right.
yeah, just
But again, it kind of what the way to go about this is always verify, but knowing that like the government always reaches out through like a letter or something
yeah,
first, unless it's something crazy, then verified badges will show up. But
yeah,
like for what most of what we're talking about, it's not these like crazy phone calls, and definitely not over social media. They
yeah,
never ever 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 do that.
yeah,
Or email, like that, like you'll get email verifications. Like I've gotten email verifications for like, setting something up for my business through Kentucky whatever,
yeah,
but it's never like I always get a letter with that, a physical letter with that as well. Like
right,
I've never gotten anything only through email.
yeah.
So
I've
that
seen
that's very
Now I
helpful.
have seen, and this is kind of funny, some criminal element or whatever posts something illegal on social media, or they're showing their guns or their whatever, and the sheriff then is like responding to that person via social media saying, "Hey,
Sure.
you're the person we're actually looking for who committed this crime. So go ahead and come on down and turn yourself in." Some of these videos that when the law enforcement and the government agencies do reach out via social media, they do it in a
Sure.
public manner. They post it so everyone can see it. It's
Not
not
like a
it's
private
not private. It's not hidden.
DM
It's
or
Yeah.
yep.
It's, hey, everybody. Oh, they did this on public. Here's our response to it. Puts them on blast.
Right.
So there are cases, but it is not a private DM. It is not a you know one-on-one kind of secrety thing. So yeah,
That's
the
helpful.
government.
Yeah. That's actually a good point though, because like it seems like in everything you're talking about, like the things that scammers and hackers want to do is isolate you.
Yeah,
And so when they can isolate you in a lie and whatever, and like try to get you to like do things
yeah,
immediately without telling anybody else, like you want to make sure that if you are going to participate in anything online and engage with people online, you actually should be doing that with other people around,
yeah,
like with your if you're in the senior citizen listening to this, right? Like bringing your kids into this, bringing your
yeah,
grandkids, because they may actually be helpful with some of this stuff too. You should never do things in isolation,
yeah,
and that's kind of a good general rule for life, I think.
yeah, yeah.
But like because even in some of the stuff we've talked about with like your kids and harmful content online and different
Hmm.
things, like just in general, isolation's
Yeah.
bad. So
Reach out for
yeah,
that
I think
help.
that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic point.